All right, let's get right into it. When you first watch it, the final battle in Terminator Dark Fate just seems like this insane, chaotic mess of metal, explosions, and pure willpower. But if you actually stop and break it down piece by piece, you realize what you're watching is something else entirely. It's a high-stakes negotiation between two completely different ways of thinking.
So you have to ask yourself, what is a final battle really for? I mean, is it just about who's left standing at the end? Or is it something deeper? Is it about which idea, which version of the future actually wins the argument? That question is really the key to this whole scene.
And you know what? The whole thing kicks off with this incredibly simple, direct opening offer. This isn't some complex scheme for world domination. Nope, it's a single, crystal clear objective.
And there it is. The Rev 9 puts its one and only term on the table. Give me the girl. It's so direct, so efficient. It basically sets up the entire conflict in just 4 words. And just like that, the negotiation is on.
But here's the thing you gotta get. For the machine, this isn't a request in the way you or I would make one. There's no emotion here. It's just a statement of its programming. It's the logical endpoint of its whole mission. It's basically an if-then statement. If I get the girl, then my purpose is fulfilled. Simple as that.
So, the machine's opening demand is out there, right? And this is where the negotiation gets really interesting. Because in response, both sides lay out their visions for the future. And well, they could not be more different.
The Rev 9 makes its case first. And it does it by trying to appeal to what it sees as just undeniable shared logic. This idea of a pre-written destiny based on how they were both designed. You know, the machine's tactic here is actually pretty clever. It's not just a threat. It's trying to find common ground. It's basically saying, hey, Grace, look, we're the same, you and I. We were both built to serve a future. My future, Legion, is the only one that makes any logical sense. So why are you even fighting this?
But Grace's reply, she doesn't even try to play its game. She doesn't get into some debate about programming or purpose, no. Instead, she offers the one thing a machine can't possibly compute. Her own personal lived experience. A testimony.
And this one line, man, it just perfectly captures the whole conflict. The machine offers a theory, a logical prediction about a future that has to happen. And Grace just shoots it down with cold, hard data from her own life. It's not a debate about what should be. It's a fact about what was. And what was a failure. So, what this all boils down to is this. We're watching a clash between two completely different sources of truth. On one side, you have the machine's cold, hard logic, this prophecy of a future that it thinks must happen. And on the other, you have humanity's painful experience, a memory of a future that already happened and already fell apart.
Okay, so the machine's first attempt, its whole appeal to logic, it just completely falls flat. Its argument for an inevitable future gets shot down. So what does it do? It makes one final attempt to find a logical reason for what's happening.
You can almost hear the confusion in its programming, right? I know she's a stranger to you. Why not just let me have her? From a purely utilitarian perspective, sacrificing one person you don't know to save yourself and your friends makes perfect sense. The machine is trying to find the missing variable in its equation. It just doesn't compute.
And this is the answer. This line is the entire thesis of the movie right here. It's a complete, total rejection of the machine's entire logical world. It's not an argument. It's a declaration of identity. The reason isn't logical. The reason is they're human.
So, they make their choice. Humanity over logic. They reject that easy, calculated path. But here's the thing about a choice like that. It is not free. And the scene immediately shows us the brutal physical price of that defiance.
Yeah, this isn't some abstract win in a philosophy class. The second they declare their humanity, the bill comes due. And it's paid for in torn metal, exhausted bodies, and just pure, unfiltered pain.
You can just feel the raw effort in every single shot. It is the physical price of saying no.
You see it right there on their faces, the absolute strain, the sound of bodies being pushed way beyond their limits.
And then you hear it, that final, visceral scream. That right there, that is the raw cost of choosing empathy over efficiency, of choosing to be human. So after all that, after all the arguments and the agony, we can finally understand what this battle is really about. And believe me, it is so much more than just surviving. See, they're fighting for the right to make choices that just don't compute, the right to be illogical, the right to feel empathy for a total stranger, the right to be defiant, even when a machine tells you the future is inevitable. At the end of the day, they are fighting for the right to simply be human.
And I think that's the real key takeaway here. Grace's final answer isn't that humanity is superior to machines. It's that humanity just operates on a completely different system. The fight isn't about winning a logical debate. It's about proving that your existence doesn't have to be justified by logic at all. And that kind of leaves us with this one big question, doesn't it? In a world that so often values efficiency and cold calculation over everything else, this scene asks something really powerful. When logic tells you to just give up, to take the easy path, what is worth all the pain and the struggle and the defiance? What is worth fighting for?